All right, good morning traders and welcome to the Bookmap live trading webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. I'm your host and I'm going to go through some live forward-looking analysis here on where we think price is going to move next. This is all based on our educational course that we have online. And then these webinars are the proof of how to read the order flow and apply it. Then we also have live trading from JTrader, a stocks trader, on Wednesday, and Scott Pulcini, a futures trader, on Thursday. We also have quite a few new streamers and some other streamers in our Discord if you want to come over to our Discord channel. We have quite a list now. Rain in the morning, going over cryptocurrencies at 8:30 East Coast time. Then the advanced webinar here. Then we have Tom B immediately after. He'll go through volume profile and futures in the S&P E-mini. And then after that, we have Doug Plus, options with Doug. He'll be going over options, stock options, and also some of the futures stock indexes, and how he's trading options. Really interesting work Doug is doing, and I highly suggest that you go check it out. I know many of you are already aware of Tom B and have checked that out, but maybe don't know about Doug's. Really great work over there. All right, so excellent strategies. And then we have the Algo boys. They're on basically all day. And they're going over their algo levels that they see and mark that up in Bookmap. Heavy algorithmic activity, that's important. They're marking it up, and then they're looking at the order flow around those areas. Okay, so anyway, let's continue on. Let's go through the risk disclosure and jump into these live markets. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. With risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, so let's jump in here and take a look at this S&P and what's going on, and also get to some questions in here. Let's see. Good morning, Tropical Hydro, JC, and Rob had a suggestion or a note here. Went back on Friday and watched part 1 of the educational videos. Yeah, no, Tom is looking at volume profile, and this is not the direction we want to go. That's only volume profile, Rob. So it has nothing to do with like understanding the microstructure and order flow here in these advanced webinars. So I know that that is the education. That is what we're trying to go over and cover so you understand how to apply that to Tom's levels. Okay, so oh, I'm sorry, I'm misreading this here. Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. Never mind. If you can read the order flow better, I think you can apply better. Exactly. That is exactly what we're trying to do in here. Yeah, so a mean reversion, well, if you understand order flow on all of these different time frames, Rob, that is exactly it. Now you can play mean reversion plays, no problem whatsoever. And here's one right in front of us on a higher time frame. Let me mark it up here. Look at this here, guys. What kind of pattern is this right here? Strong move, pull back, strong move. Okay, what is that? All right, there's a flag pattern. That's our flag pattern right there. Okay, now look at this. Look where the pause came in. Okay, it came in right in here. Yeah, bull flag, exactly. It came in right in here where it dropped from, came back up, retested that, and then broke out from here, right? Look at this here. Where did it come back and retest here at the open? Cash open, just minutes ago at 10, right? So this here, here's your mean reversion right now, back up into the mean. Okay, so it tested where the bull flag had a pause and then came back up into this area here. Okay, so we're not making this kind of stuff up, right? This is market structure, and it's order flow within the market structure that makes all the difference here. Okay, so that's it, right? So here we can take a look, and if you now, this is where Rob, if you want to get into your mean reversion plays, now you have something to lean on due to market structure. Okay, and the order flow within that. Now let's take a look at the details here in the order flow. Okay, so the details here, well, right in here, look at this. High liquidity getting filled on the bid, high liquidity on the bid, on the bid, on the bid in here as well. Does not come down to this 70 level here. Oh, I'm sorry, it comes just shy of it, does not hit it, it looks like, and then it bounced. Okay, we find the buyers come in. Where have they gone? Mean reversion. Okay, so, and now we don't really cover mean reversion in here. The reason being is it's just kind of a fancy name of saying, like, you know, it's going back to where it can trade. Okay, it's rejecting down here, and it's going back into where it can trade. Now we know in the order flow these buyers are getting filled on the bid, okay, with their limit buy orders, and then we can start to read the structure in here as well. Okay, more sellers even in here. Okay, look at this, buyers come in. Okay, they break the this smaller structure here, they break the trend. In fact, you can even look at it here. Okay, and then there's a bigger trend here. All right, so it came back up and tested that one, but it broke this little line right here. Okay, and then we see the sellers come right back in. But guys, look at this little area right in here. Okay, and this is another bull flag. Okay, so now look, I don't, this is exactly what Rob is mentioning, and how to start to read this in here. Don't worry about bull flags and whatever. Read the order flow. Look at the sellers down here. Look where they're upended here. Okay, there's going to be a stop run here. There is, you can see it right here, and it came back and traded to where? The most traded level. Okay, so it's where most transactions are taking place, which just, this is what it means. Okay, in auction market theory, it's very simple. It rejected down here, okay, and it traded back into where it can trade, where more traders are taking place. Trades are taking place. Now, how to read that though in the order flow? Well, we saw the move down. We saw a bigger picture here. Okay, we had our levels here, and we see the sell-off here. Okay, and it traded into these levels here. We know they're getting filled on the bid. We know that there's some buyers up in here. Okay, that broke this smaller structure. We get enough buyers to come back in, and then they break even this structure here. Now, where is it accepting? Okay, now what we're looking at is market structure change. Okay, and that's it. So now we're looking forward to see if it's going to be supported here around the 82 and a half. Okay, so that is the goal in here. Start to understand that this move in here and this mean reversion, or back into the center, back into the auction where it previously auctioned, it could even be upended if we get enough buyers up here. Look at this. Okay, so here, if we get buyers up here, okay, I'm looking for the bid to support it. Okay, I want to see these guys at 37.90 to pull their liquidity. Now, if they don't, we're just looking at another kind of choppy move back and forth. But let's see if we can break out. Okay, let's see more support in here, and we're looking for big green dots in here, right, to break and then trade up to maybe 95. Now, we covered this actually in the week tops and week bottoms webinar last Friday. Okay, so here it's trying to break out. Now, I don't know about this. Like, let's look at we can look at the profile here, but we can also look at the amount that's traded up here. It's not bad, right? There's buyers here again, and then now we're seeing more, right? So yeah, we would go with the move up into 95 now. But the thing is if we look at the profile here, or the amount of trading, and the profile doesn't really matter. We can read it right here in Bookmap. How much is trading at the top edge here? That's the question. Okay, and it was not bad, right? So this is kind of you know, anticipated. However, we're also thinking, well, you know, it may go higher, but you know, I bet you we have another rotation maybe in here, and if we do, where's the first spot? There's actually two spots to come back down and retest. Okay, and again, this could be another mean reversion, Rob. Okay, this is a little bit more challenging read because they are supporting it here at 87. Okay, now what is 87? It is the most traded level. It is the POC, the point of control, the volume point of control, right? So they're supporting it here. Now it doesn't mean that price can come, you know, can't come down into here and trade into it and even through it if we get enough sellers. However, our read on an analysis in here is like, yeah, you know, we can understand this move higher, and we understand they're supporting it here. But you know, it's still kind of a tapered edge here. I'm still looking for sellers to try to drive it right back down into 87. Okay, they're not right now. It's still breaking out, and they're even supporting it higher here. Okay, so it's getting a little momentum here, and it's already traded to 95. Now you see, I would have missed that one. I would have let it go. The volume looks pretty good in here. It's not bad, but that top edge in here, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. So what happened? This is what happened. It bounced off of, it traded through, and then bounced off of the 90 level, and now traded to 95. Okay, and looks like we got enough buyers in here to trade to 3,800 now. All right. So anyway, yeah, I have my take on this. I look for this all the time in here, all the time. And look for the breakout and the continuation, just like this right here. We had some of the pieces for sure. They were supporting it underneath here. There was buying up here before, but I didn't really like it too much. I was looking for one more push back down to 87 and then the breakout. Okay, so yeah, I would have missed it. Now I just wouldn't have taken the risk on it. Okay, and if I, you know, this happened in real time here. You wait for a little more, and if you do get that in here, that you can kind of miss it in here, but you can kind of jump in a little bit later. Okay, now it's traded up to 3,800, right? And they are supporting here at 95, but again, I'm just staying away from it right now. We would look for it to trade back to 3,800 and maybe break out yet again. All right. However, we've seen it so many times that these guys pull that liquidity, and it comes right back down to where it broke out from, which would be 92.5 or even back down to 90. All right. And you could, Rob, you could even look for your mean reversion again up here, and then back down into maybe 87. All right. A little more, not as clear in the order flow right now. That's all. Okay, these are the scenarios though, and yeah, it looks like the sellers do want to come down here. We need to see like 92.5, and then they're starting to mount some selling pressure. Okay, and then that would be your mean reversion trade. Okay. All right, so let's go back here. Good morning, everybody. It was a bull flag and a measured move. Absolutely. Oh boy. Good morning. Yep. Yeah, that was great, Rob. Music to my ears. I was afraid that you were gonna look at volume profile as your kind of foundation, and I would really dissuade you from that, using anything as your foundation except for understanding the microstructure and then extrapolating that to the higher time frame. Okay, so understanding like what makes price move in our video course. Let me show you guys where that is. It's here on our YouTube channel. If you come here and then you scroll down to here, bonus materials, educational course, go here, click view full playlist. Here they are. Just watch part 1 for right now. Okay, the whole idea here is to understand these levels in here, just understand really basic market mechanics. And you know, a lot of traders, like I've mentioned many times in the past, this is pretty good education. I mean, you won't find this in a lot of places, but understanding really what makes these markets move is just of paramount importance. Once you understand that, then you can apply it to your volume profile. Then you can apply it to your bull flag. You understand what makes up the bull flag. It is the order flow. That's the key here, right? So yeah, no, great stuff, Rob. Really appreciate it. Can outside liquidity help with reading this? Yeah, I mean, well, basically putting these pieces together, the context, right? Reading the order flow in here, I'm putting that context and going through these scenarios, right? Because look where we are, right? We talked about it. You know, first bounce was right in here, 92.5. It bounced. Next one is 90, and then what is our mean reversion? 87.5. Okay, already there. So there's one in the making. Now let's go through this actually, because Rob, this is a good question here, right? We read it in here and go, yeah, I don't know about this breakout. We're not so sure. Okay, in fact, we're looking for maybe it to fail here, come back down, and then break out. Well, this is what it did. Okay, it did a beautiful flag pattern here. Okay, it broke out, small pullback, and then broke out, and it's even, you know, beautiful measured move in there, everything. Okay, however, we kind of let that one, or at least I did, kind of let that go, and then mention, well, maybe you can get in, you know, someplace in here if you see that buying come in. Is kind of careful though on that one. But we weren't so convinced. So when you start to look at the context of these things, and it traded up to 3,800 and then immediately pulled back, and we saw the move back down here, the pullback, and then you can look for, again, sellers in here to drop it not only to 90, but then your mean reversion. Okay, now why here? Well, because this didn't look as strong as what we wanted. So then we could look for, if it's not as strong over here, then there might be more opportunities for sellers to do that mean reversion trade and follow through on it back down into these areas. Okay, so again, these are like contextual details to understand, but it's more of a kind of a nuance to it. So let's see here. Yeah, let's see if they even go for further, right down to the bottom of the range here. They're already through point of control, and there's some pretty heavy volume there. So yeah, the next move I would look for is down here, 82, 83 basically, right? And it's going there pretty quickly. Can outside liquidity help read? So yeah, you mean the outside liquidity indicator? Yeah, it can. That can help. If we zoom vertically here, you know, you can look for more of an imbalance in here, but it's really what you're going to see is in here. You know, that they're following down, they're maybe pulling here, and we're looking for them to slip through, right? We even speculated. We go, well, everything looks good in here for now. They're bidding up here, but how many? We mentioned how many times have we seen it once price comes down in here, they don't want to be buyers here any longer. They just wanted to get price up into 3,800 and get it filled up there, which happened. Okay? And it's kind of like a skew in the order book to get it filled up in here, right? And then no one's in here interested. Where is it going to go? The next level down. Okay, and there, guys, we've talked about this in the past. Is kind of interesting in terms of like measured moves in here. Okay, so let me explain in here, because here there's high liquidity, here there's high liquidity. The next level of liquidity is down here. It's kind of a measured move in essence. Like if I draw a big box around this whole thing, look at the midpoint there. Okay, see the three dots, dotted lines there. Here, let me whoops, if I edit it here. Okay, see this dot, and this is the midpoint here, here, and here, right? This is the midpoint. That's exactly where this liquidity was. Okay, so you'll see this, and if they pull here in this area here, well, where's the order book now? The order book is, well, they even lowered it here. So you know, if the order book many times the price kind of seeks equilibrium, and that equilibrium is now skewed. It wasn't between here, they pull here, it's down here now, has the potential to come down here. Okay, and did. Okay, and let's see, did we get down to our 83? Yeah, we just got down to 83. Okay, so there's a couple of potential trades. Again, this is not a trade recommendation room, but you know, you can kind of put these pieces together and understand where price may go. Now, you know, and we're drawing up our levels in here, okay, based on the order flow, and our structure based on the order flow in here. Okay, so it's not volume profile. It relates to volume profile. It's all related. It relates to also the algo boys and their room, you know, like or their levels that they're looking at. Okay, and then order flow around their levels. Okay, look at this, more selling. Break down to this level now, here. Okay, this is where we originally broke out from in this whole move. All right, so I hope that helps, Rob. That's really great, Rob. Great to hear that you look back at it, and we're now you can really put it into context of volume profile and what it really means, and you know, we can zoom in and go through profile in here. And start to understand it on very, very small time frames. Like here, look, this single distribution is bell-shaped curve, most traded in here. Okay, well, let's move forward here. All right, now this is going to go outside of the calculation here, so that'll go away. All right, and let's look in here. Where is it? Where are these? Where are all these transactions taking place? Okay, well, this is like a magnet here. This is the most traded level for this little small time frame. Okay, now here's a break, right? Just aggressive sellers come in and break it. Okay, all right, now here's our weak bottom, right? The B-shaped profile right here. Just means that more is trading down at this level here, right? Especially right here, but look, it's right into high liquidity. Okay, so this is another scenario. Now on Friday we went through a couple of these scenarios. This one we didn't go through because we didn't have this scenario unfold. High liquidity here at 80. They're trading into it. Okay, so now what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to wait. I didn't look. I don't know what happened to price after this. Okay, so let's read it. Okay, so they traded into it, made the transaction. This is a weak bottom. However, there's high liquidity on the bid that got filled. Right, so we need to kind of wait and watch here and not get caught up into a trap here. Okay, so a little bit more selling here, a little bit more. Okay, what about the bid? What about the offer? Okay, see this, the buyers start to come in a little bit. So this could be a trap. If we can get back up to here, where it previously auctioned in this range here, that you can see very clearly here. It's already done its mean reversion for this very small time frame. But if we can get more up here, we can break and come back down up into these areas in here, this liquidity up in here. And let's see if we get that. Okay, if we don't, and we get more selling down here, that should be the primary scenario. Secondary scenario is more buyers back up here and then the break, right? Primary scenario is more selling down here and then the break. Okay, all right, so look at this. Here we got some of the buyers up here. They're pulling here, they're adding on the bid here. So we're looking for, let's see if we can get a little bit more in here, and then we'll come right back up into this kind of 83 level up here. Yeah, not much to take away from it right now. It's just right in the middle between these two levels. There we go. Look at the bid. See the bid here? Looks great. All right, I'd be looking for 83. Took a while and did it. Okay, so now, Rob, does this make sense? You know, can you read that in here, and put those pieces together and understand your profile, but understand it by what's happening here within these areas. This is part one of that educational course. This is exactly what we're doing. We're understanding where the transactions are taking place, what's happening on the bid, what's happening on the offer. It's exactly it, right? And then we can look for, now we don't know, all of a sudden there could have been a heavy selling. It came in right here and someone just swept it, you know, down to 75. Who knows, right? We never know. However, due to this auction and due to the participants that we see at this time, that's what we'd be looking for. Okay, and that's all we do know, and that is reading the order flow though, and then we go through these different scenarios on why one might work out or look stronger than the other, and that is higher probability. Okay, excellent, Rob. Love it. Now take that, and if there was some sort of mean reversion play, you know, you can look for reading that and then look for a higher time frame move back to your mean or whatever it is. Okay, or continuation. All right, let me get back to YouTube. Let's see here. Hi, using your advice is right in parallel trading. Is it possible to have SI indicator for stocks? No, it's not. Matthias. Good morning, Classic Man. Hit the like button. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, guys, if love the give some love in here. Hit the like button. Why are traders attracted to liquidity? That's a really it's a great question. It's very simple question and a very simple answer, because that's where it can trade. That's where there are the majority in here. It depends on the time frame, of course, and it depends on the context in here, right? But where are the buyers? Well, there are the sellers. They're up here. So if buyers want to meet the sellers, this is where they got to go, 90. As simple as that. Okay, so you know, and that's the aggressors here is where we're going to read the context, not only the aggressors but also in the order book is context on both sides, and this is where it get kind of confusing. Now let's just dim the heat map in here. Okay, and so we're not looking at liquidity right now. Okay, we don't know where price is going to go because we don't have targets in here. We don't know where there's liquidity. Where are the buyers and sellers? on the bid and on the offer. We just see the aggressors and the price structure. Right now, the price structure is just kind of this back and forth in this little area here. Now we see some sellers here, some buyers over here. Not getting too much out of it right now, to be honest. In fact, one thing is, like, look at this B-shaped profile in here. Okay, but again, we need to see a little bit more selling down here, and then this can break. Okay, we didn't get that. We got buyers here. Okay, so if we can get enough buyers up in here, it's not going to be a weak bottom in here. Okay, now if we get enough sellers here, which we just might right now, and again, I don't really like it. Looking at the context of just these two elements, one element being price structure, okay, which is just best bid and offer, okay, going back and forth, and we're reading that. And then the other one is the volume or the aggressors within it, the market buy and sell orders that actually move price. Okay, well, there's quite a bit of buying up here. There's quite a bit of selling here. Right, so we don't really know. We're not getting too much out of it right now. Now this answers the question though. Okay, well, where is price going to go? Well, likely, we'd look for it to go to high liquidity. If the buyers want to meet the sellers are up here, 88 and 90. Okay, if the sellers want to meet the buyers, they're down here at 80. Okay, see how it's dark in here? So we're looking for some sort of a clue that price is attracted to these sellers up here. Right, so just think of it, and it's not like I think a lot of traders, myself included, like always thought of this, or I always thought of this as like a math problem. It's like, well, it should do this because it did that and this. Well, no, it's the context in here that really matters, and it's an auction, and it's probabilities. Okay, well, here's some sellers down here. Okay, so yeah, at 80, all right, but is it a whole lot? No, not really. So maybe we'll come right back into here, 82, maybe even higher, maybe 85. Now this is a little more convoluted because we're looking to see if we can get these sellers here to look for a breakout and then get them on the hook and have buyers come back in and get them stopped out up in these areas here. Okay, so again, understanding buyers and sellers in here, who's compelled to be a buyer up here? I'll tell you who. These sellers down here, right? So this is our false breakdown right here. It's already unfolding. Now I'm looking for more buyers actually up here, and I want to see it break out now into 88 and 90. And let's see if we get enough up here. We should. I think we got it. And then buyers, and we should hit 88 and 89, 90. Okay, just putting the pieces together. See how we read that in here? Does that make sense? About the question about being attracted to liquidity. I hope so. Okay, stay away from just it reading like this as a signal though. It's an auction. Guys, give us a like or a subscription. Subscribe to the channel if you like. You'll get alerts, updates. We have quite a few new products coming out here soon, so I want to tempt you with that. So subscribe to the channel and you'll get alerts when some of these new videos come out. Let's see. Other questions? Why does my CVP column have 2 arrows beside it? It's not 2 arrows, it's like 2x up here, which means basically a lot of traders, they love doing this. They're maybe scalping, and I think that's what you're talking about, right? and they're scalping, and so you can double click in here and it'll clear this and restart. Okay, and then you can double click again and restart it. Right, so you're kind of looking, you don't care about the rest of this, you care about right now. You're looking for some sort of like sellers, and then here they come, see them selling, hit. This is related to what we were talking about with weak bottoms and weak tops. Okay, it's just you're doing it much quicker. So look at that weak bottom now for the data that we just reset here. Okay, it looks pretty good, right? So we now this is a little bit higher time frame though, but based off of this, we'd look for sellers here, and then boom, 77, 75. And there's, you know, looking for our breakdown now. We're looking for it down here, but then not so sure. Other side of the range, 87, 88, 90. Well, it only went up to like 87 here. It didn't even make it to 88, in fact. Okay, so it's really kind of choppy in here. Hello, Uriel. Good morning. Okay, so I hope that maybe you saw 2 arrows up in here, but it says 2x basically. Right, and we can get out of that too. You can go to your reset in here and see it says right in here, if you right click on it, to reset on double click. Right, so just deselect it. Okay, and then you should be able to zoom in and out. Hold on here. I need to reset the whole, clear all resets. There we go. Okay, yeah, now you see it's not up here. Okay, you want to look at gold. Yeah, we can look at gold futures. I'm not going to look at the CFD though. Boy, it's kind of all over the place too. Traded down, here's our retest back up. Actually, yeah, I don't know. It looks like it's a low volume pullback right now, so I'd look for more sellers to come in and try to trade it back down to 79 and maybe 77 here. Looks like it, but this is pretty choppy in here right now. Okay, if we can get more buyers back up above, we'll come right up to 84 here. Right, so looking for that context here. What kind of context do we have? Well, they're on the bid here. That's pretty good. Are we getting aggressors up here though? Not really. Okay, are they pulling up here a little bit? So it does open the scenario for trading up to here. I just don't see it, you know, hitting us over the head here. Oh, okay, Joe. So yeah, you took a look at the 4 videos over the weekend. Very helpful. Great. Yeah, and that's great. Let's see here. Gotham, once price gets attracted to that high liquidity, why would someone want to move toward a big seller that you see on Bookmap, knowing that the seller might push price back down? Well, it just depends on the context. You know, you'll see in here, like look at this guy in here. Look at this skew in the auction right in here in gold, and this is one player, and it's like likely an algo in here, high liquidity, very high liquidity right here. Okay, pulled, added it up here, so it's most likely the same player. And how much liquidity is this? They have 71 contracts in here. That's a lot for gold. And what happened here? Well, it did skew the auction. It did move price higher, but then sellers came in and they took this guy on, and they traded right into him. Right, and we see the transactions take place right in here. Right, and we know exactly what took place in here. So we can see that 158 contracts traded right in here. okay, at this 83 level. There's our SVP column, or SVP. So let me get, hold on, let me add in CVP. So 64, I'm sorry, 64 contracts traded right in there. Okay, that's what happened. That was the liquidity in here. 71 out of those 71, 64 traded. So majority of it traded. Right, so they took them on. So what does that tell us now? Well, we found some aggressor selling interest. Okay, now what we want to look at is the context around this area right here. This is what we want to know in the order flow. Buyers above it, sellers below it. Okay, significant buyers and sellers in here that want to create direction, a directional move. And to be honest, I really don't see it. Like, yeah, there's some buying up here, there's some selling over here. In fact, the selling looks a little bit better. I would look for sellers to try to take it down to 81. Okay, and you can see it just kind of went all over the place, right? But this is the event, that order flow event, what we want to get kind of clarity around. Okay, because we know the transaction took place up there. Right, and this is how, like the algo boys, for example, this might be an algo boys level. They can understand this, in terms of a large algo trading. Now they're looking for the order flow around that event. Okay, so it's all about levels, and then the order flow around levels. It's the same story. You want me to take a look, Paris, at CL? Sure. Yeah, POC has not moved much today, Joe. It's just hacking around this area in here. Right, this actually looks pretty good for a breakout here into our 90 level. Why? Look, support here, buyers here. Let's see if we can get a little bit more buying. Okay, we're getting a rotation down, and let's see if we can get now. So what we're looking for now is a rotation back up and more buyers here. Lack of selling, more buyers up in here. And if we don't get it, fine. Okay, and then we can read like this context up in here. It's starting to come up here. Now we're getting our buyers. No. So it's not really high probability. It may happen, but it's just not as high. There they go. It looks a little bit better. Look how dark it is underneath though. Still don't really like that. I'm looking for these buyers to do this. I wouldn't trade it though. Okay, I wouldn't put my money on it. I should say this is not a trade recommendation room. It's because not all the pieces were quite there, and here it is. So it's doing it, and we're reading it. But you can make a more informed trading decision based on the order flow. All right. So in some of this chops and stuff, maybe you get yourself kind of caught in these. Maybe you're looking for a bigger move, and then all of a sudden, like, well, it broke out, and and you didn't take some profit for like a few points in here. Instead, you're holding for a bigger move, and then you add to it and add to it and add to it on the way down, and you blow your whole account out, right? Just based off of trying to read the order flow in this very simple event, okay, which is not high probability. So don't do that. I mean, just again, it's not a trade recommendation room, but managing your risk is just so important. I mean, that is the game in here. Know something high probability and then manage it. Manage your risk, right? So is it worth it to take this? Let's take a quick look over at CL. I don't have CL up. Let's add it though. We're on the Z contract, I imagine, at this, or the X contract at this point. Well, let's take a quick look. Here's my way of looking that up, guys. Very high tech. CME, CL, volume. Click on the contract specs here from the CME, and it should drop us into, yeah, the Z contract here. Okay, but just click on, don't go by this. This is kind of new. They didn't do that before. Click on this and verify it, volume and open interest. Okay, and then look at it yourself. Yeah, so by far, December contract. A third of that is the January contract here. Right, total volume. Right, so anyway, that's one way to look this up. CL has already made its move up into high liquidity at 92 and 93, 92 and a half and 93, and it's still back up here. Boy, I don't like it either. All of these, like, yeah, I would go with the move back up into, 93, 15 or so here. It just doesn't look all that good in here, though. It looks very whippy. We're seeing buying interest, just kind of slowly grinding this up, and we'd be looking for them up here, right here, and then the move, and then a quick move up into 15. Okay, but I just don't, the order flow does not look all that great in here. They're not supporting it on the bid. It might be just a quick move and then a quick fail, so. Yeah, not really seeing much here. Guys, I want to also show you something in here that's going on that you might be really interested in. Oh yeah, it's a lot thinner than the ES. The crude oil, look at it. We had, tens of contracts in here. Yeah, it's doing it. It's moving its way up here, but again, like sellers could just very quickly move this back down because it's less liquid, right? I mean, we see the same kind of moves in the ES though, but nonetheless. All right, so let's see. What did I want to show you? Oh yeah, I want to show you this. Okay, so I'll put this in the chat for you as well, guys. So this is sign-ups for this Bookmap Blue Jacket. Okay, what is this? This is for you guys to get your content out there and be recognized for it. Okay, so there's all sorts of reasons for this. Well, one is right here. There's a blue jacket that, well, you get the kind of status in Discord, and you also get featured within Bookmap Insights here, and then you can win a free subscription to Global Plus, okay, for 3 months, and then opportunity to maybe become a Bookmap partner, work closely with the team. Okay, so some really nice things in here that you can get, and this opportunity is like quite a nice thing in here if you're interested. So yeah, the other things are nice as well, in my opinion, very nice. But to work with the Bookmap team and potential development, etc., really nice. So yeah, the way to get involved in here, I'll just send this to you. You'll just scroll down and go over the details in here and just sign up right here. Okay, so let me put this into the YouTube chat for you. Yeah, I mean, basically, let me show you the Bookmap Insights page as well. you will be featured in here. Yeah, so here you can see Doug, for example. Here's Dove, a few on Dove. Here's Doug P again. Here's David. You'll be featured in here though, not just with one. You'll be featured in, if you win, as a special kind of window in here. All right, so let me put this into the chat for you guys. Yeah, so check out that Blue Jacket competition and create some interesting content and be recognized for it. Drew, you want to take a look at Ether? Okay, I do have Bitcoin futures up here from Binance Futures. Not a whole lot happening here, as you guys can see. Not a whole lot at all. Guys, we have some really interesting products here. This is the liquidation indicator in here. It's showing where traders are getting liquidated out of their positions because they don't have the leverage anymore, or there's a margin call basically. So here 38k, 30k here, 15 events, 14 events here, 104, only 2 events. But you can look at these areas in here and it's like stops and icebergs, but it's even worse. It's people they don't have they're over leveraged, and the exchange here, Binance Futures, is closing their position because they're getting a margin call. They do not have the margin to continue to trade. This is very much akin to stops, and even more insightful. So you'll see a lot of times, look down here, for example. Here's one move, 28k. Here's another one, 20k, and then here there's none down here. So you can even look at divergences in here between the liquidations. A little bit less and then none, and price did go a little bit lower in here. Okay, well now again, Rob, for example, mean reversion. Look at the order flow in here. Sellers, they're on the bid down here. Okay, they never tangle with it down here at 600. We get buyers back up here though. Okay, back into the mean right here, maybe to the other side of the range, and they'll start to hit stops or get liquidations on the other side of the range. Okay, so that's what it's doing. Guys, look at this order flow in here. We've seen this in the S&P a lot as well. Okay, it's like trap traders, or not trap traders, it's people just getting liquidated at these areas here. So one side and the other. You can trade it back to the mean in here, or try to trade it to the other side of the range as well. All right, so anyway, that's what I see. And we can look at Binance Futures also for Ether. I'm going to put a tick size of $5. All right, we'll have to wait for some data to load. Liquidation indicator, Abby is showing where people are getting liquidated. Have you ever had a margin call? That's it. How do you know? How do I know, or how does Bookmap know they have a margin call? Yeah, it's because the exchange is sending out that data. It's incredible, right? It sounds like we shouldn't have access to that, but they are giving out that data, and we can read it, and then we can plot it on the chart. Guys, there is interesting updates on this. We're we have a really interesting week. I'm going to kind of tempt you with some of the new releases, but in the next few weeks. But this week there's 3 different releases that we have, and one of them is this liquidation indicator. It was actually released for Bookmap 7.3 and 7.4 last week. It will also be on the Bookmap web end of the week, the web version. And on the web version, it will show it not only for the recent activity, but it's all historical as well. So really, really great updates to our liquidation indicator. Okay, so 7.3, it can now show it for multi-book products, not just one product. 7.4, it will show it for multi-book products as well as the historical. Okay, and Bookmap Web, you can go back like a month and look at all the data. Okay, and that will be released later this week. No, we cannot add EMAs on Bookmap Gotham. Yeah, this means like $39,000 were liquidated in here. You know, you can go even to the here. Let's go to the indicator, and let me show you something in here. Liquidations here. Okay, so you can flip it. You don't have to look at the dollar amount if you don't want to. It's US dollars, right? But you can also look at the display threshold here and maybe the quote currency or the base currency. So right now, see it says 1.6 and 4 events, or 1.6 and 8 events. So it means 1.6 coins are being liquidated altogether. Okay, which equals 1.6, you know, at a $20,000 instrument is equal to 39K at the moment. Right? So, and it's just fact. We just know that. Yeah, it works on the multi-book product here. So let me show you that. If I go here to, I need to add Bookmap data in here. So we'll add a connection in here. Okay, so we'll add a new connection up here, Bookmap data. If we scroll down, here it is right here, Bookmap data. We are actually the data provider for this. It's a synthetic instrument called multi-book that we created here, and we'll subscribe to it here. Okay, and then now I'll close that, and let's select it up here. Select Bookmap data, and then we'll click on plus tab. We're going to add, so we're going to use Bookmap data in here. We're going to look for a futures or a perpetual product in here, and then we're going to add in multi-book, and we're going to look at BTC USDT. Okay, $10 per tick. That's good. Let's add it. And we can add the liquidation indicator in here as well. Yeah, it's already added. Okay. Now, note that it's going to be very different in here. These are the exchanges in the top left-hand corner: Bitcoin, USDT for Binance Futures, Bybit, and OKEX. So the liquidation indicator in here, it's going to be a little different than this is for Binance Futures only. So in fact, let's add another one. Let's not add a perpetual. Let's just go with a futures product in here. Okay, Bookmap data, Coinbase derivatives. It's fine. Symbol. the Z contract here. Okay. Not getting data for it. Okay. Not sure why. Anyway, here you can see the perpetual. We just had some liquidations here. There's a lot less in here, and this is really interesting. It's a lot less in here because it's not a leveraged product, so people can withstand it a little bit better in here, but they can't withstand it too well in Binance futures. Look at that, 13K just got liquidated here. So anyway, how could anyone be making money when the Fed is working against us? Dave, there's all sorts of ways to always make money. Yeah, maybe it's because the Fed is working against us, you short the market, Guys, this has been a really choppy session, but we're reading it pretty well. Our lines are pretty good in here as well, as you guys can see, based off of the market structure that we're reading. Okay, we talked about some a potential breakout and then a potential pullback on this and mean reversion. We talked about mean reversion down here as well. It's all over the place. And then we see the breakout again, and this again looks pretty good for trading back up to 3,800 here. Right now, it's not a trade recommendation. Now let's just go through it though. It looks like it wants to do it. That would be primary scenario. But again, how convincing is this? Not too, right? So it looks like it will likely work out here, but like compared to Friday, where it was like, oh well, it wants to go lower due to like the order flow in here. So here we go, here 92 and 3/4, some liquidity there. What's the reaction to it? Okay, look at sellers are kind of interested, right? They put that in here, and like what does price do? Sellers are interested in it. Okay, so what does that tell us? Well, yeah, we might get sellers and they'll drive it right back down to this 90 area here. Okay, this is not as high probability. Okay, here's what ended up happening. They pulled that liquidity. They never traded. Okay, it was more like a spoof, and then buyers came in and traded up into 95 instead. Okay, and then we're right back down here again. Now watch this. Okay, so these guys are on the hook. Let's see if we get enough sellers now, and then they'll be able to, it'll be easier for sellers to come down here. And why? Because these guys are compelled to sell. They bought up here. They all bought up here. They're compelled to sell down here, and we should get a stop run. And we just did. We already got a stop run here. We're looking for it to come down further though, right? Okay, see the difference in here in the order flow? We weren't too sure about this. We're a little bit more sure about this one though after this event took place. After it took place. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so it's even come down further. So actually that's turned into a nice little move there. Okay, now it traded back down to these guys here, and that liquidity there. I would look for a bounce right now, and a bounce to where? First one here, 88.25, maybe back to 90 as well. And there it is. Okay, now why 90? Why 90 today and not like Friday or something? Like why do we think? Well, it's because it's just again there's there's this room in here for the market to slosh back and forth in here. It traded down here as a big move down to 86 liquidity. You're gonna find buyers that are gonna want to trade it back into the mean, or back up into where it dropped from here, and they just did, and that trade is finished. Okay, we might even get enough buyers to come right back up to here and then break out and then trade up into 3,800. Okay, we'll read it in here. Okay, we have to read it at 90. Okay, but see the insight that we got in here from that little event in here? It gave us some insight. All right. No real kind of major focus here today, guys. Let's see here. Chop City, yeah, Bert, I agree with you. Yeah, Rob, let's see here. Let me show you. Rob, hey, put this into that, here's your image. I would really encourage you, enter this contest, really. This bookmap.com/blue jacket. Let me put it into the chat here in Discord as well. And you're creating content like this in here. Now, the one thing that I see a lot of stuff in here, a lot of levels. You got your stops and icebergs in here. Just make it simple, to begin with, this might be a little too much, too much kind of paralysis here by too much on the chart. You look for simple auctions to work out or not, and even start on smaller time frames first to build confidence. So like in the smaller time frame in here, well, here sellers in control, pull back, sellers in control. Okay, in this little range in here, sellers, we should get enough sellers here and then hit down into 87 or 86 3/4, just based off of what this quick little read is there. Okay, maybe a bit lower, but I don't know about that, right? But that looked pretty good. Should trade down to there, just based a really quick reaction in here. And then now let's see, we come back down. Do we get sellers down here? Nope. We getting sellers down here? Nope. We're getting buyers here. Are we getting buyers up here though? No. Are we getting sellers here? Yep. All right, let's see if the sellers can drop it into 85 now. Okay, now what we'd like to see though, to help build the confidence, is for this liquidity to be lowered here, right? And we want to see them pull here on the bid. Okay, because if we don't get that, then we stay away. Right, so, and we didn't quite get that, so just nothing happening, right? It'll be clear when they come out. Now see that a little bit in here at 87, and then they're pulling here, so that makes sense. Back down to 85 here. Anyway, guys, I encourage you to enter and create some content in here and try to win. I'll put this back into the chat. So I went over your question, William, right? I answered what the numbers mean, thousands of dollars or coins, number of coins. So, it could be 0.01 coins or 0.1 coins, but, that would be related to dollars. Yeah. Okay. Okay, you're new to Bookmap Learning. Yep, great. No. Rob, don't be dissuaded by this. Just simple reads in here, and then take it further. Yeah, I mean, you know, that week, take this one here that we had last Friday. Okay, here, and then get good at this. Here, weak tops and weak bottoms in here. Okay, it's a really simple and a very visual pattern, and you can look for the follow through in some of these. Okay, so get good at that, for example, and just focus on that, and you'll be up and running within several hours or just a few hours, and then several days you'll be an expert in it. Really, I'm not kidding you. It's very simple, and then just get really good at that. Look at your profile in here. I know you're a profile trader, or you've been looking at it, and applying that with your Tom B stuff. Great. So just look for that higher probability, or your mean reversion trades. But like and then look for why it played out. Go back and look. Like here, see how this is going to be a stop run here, and we know that because this is the range, and we can see it right here. There's a few stop runs in here, so now let's see. We're getting quite a bit of buying in here, right? So we're back up here. They'll likely come right back up to here, 95. Okay, it's already here where it broke down from here, 92 3/4. Okay, want to see them take it up to 95. Okay, but that measured move is completed, by the way. Here's one, and here's two. Okay, measured move or not, I mean, there's reasons why the measured moves work, and that's what I want to cover. And here's it's basically it's done its job. It's come up into this 92 3/4. Okay, top of this range, pull back, bounce off of the top of the range here, and then a move back up into where it dropped from here. Okay, but if we get enough up here, let's watch this here. Okay, so we're looking for up here a bit of buying, well, a lot of buying. Yeah, let's see it. Okay, they're on the bid here. The bid is not bad here. It's not bad. Now let's see it move back up here. Okay, so now look, we found some sellers. They actually are interested in that liquidity. They traded. Okay, that's telling us something else now. We just got new information in here. So it was looking pretty good that if we can get buyers back up here again, then we'd get our breakout in the 95. Okay, now I would say no. It's kind of changed a little bit in here now. Okay, but we'd be looking for buyers up here. And nothing shaking. Yeah, I mean, William, this fits perfectly with your failed breakout strategy as well. Perfect. See, now look at these guys. Here's our stop run, shake out to the downside, buyers back up above it. Okay, if we get buyers up here, I want to see them take it to the top of the range. Yep, looks like it. Let's see it. Let's see it, buyers. Now, we don't have the bid underneath here, so that's not good. So it's not as high probability. Still looking for it, but it's just not as high probability. Okay, if the bid really shows us, and then there's interest on the bid, and we get those aggressors, God, we're looking for it to trade not only up here but to break out into our 95. And again, now that's only a few points in here, but it's the same. if you look at this on a much higher time frame. Okay, we started off this webinar talking about this down here and the bounce out of that. And it's been really choppy session in here. You know, and I think we've done a pretty decent job though of like reading the order flow and then looking for, yeah, it will likely play out, but we just don't like it. We're going to stay away from it. Yeah, so you know, even this one in here is like, okay, well, if they can buy up here, then they should be able to push it. And then they just didn't support it here on that bid, like we were saying. Okay, so let's see if we can rotate up again and get enough buyers in here to trade up into 95 still. So they keep coming back, but note, see, look at this in here. We're still looking for it. Okay, but it's just not as highly likely. Sellers can very easily come in, hit the bid hard, and trade down to 86 and 3/4. Okay, so we just stay away from it. Anyway, Rob, I would suggest like take a look and review weak tops and weak bottoms, or you know, if it's mean reversion that you're looking for, look for it to fail outside of the mean or outside of the edge, top or bottom edge. Okay, so we covered that also, like how these weak tops and weak bottoms fail, and then add that into your mean reversion and get really good at that. Yeah, and it really is about, you know, the numbers. Go back, look at it again. Go back, look at it again. Look at this down here. Sellers, a pretty steep pullback. Lack of sellers, buyers, great. They should be able to. They should. I don't see them on the bid here, but they should be able to trade to the other side of the range here. Okay, 92, 93, 95, 90, or 94, 95. Okay, because look at the order flow in here. Sellers, wow, retrace almost all the way. Lack of sellers, buyers coming in. They should be able to trade back up to the other side of the range here, right? We'd be looking for it. We just don't think it's as high a probability due to the interest in the bid here. Okay, on the bid, they're here in the bid at 88. They're not up here, 90. Yeah, Wyckoff patterns, like this kind of idea of distribution and accumulation. Accumulation in this sense here, where is it? Who's in control? We've talked about this one so many times, but it really does matter. Look who's in control. Buyers. Okay, some sellers here, but buyers here. Some sellers here, some sellers here. But if we get enough buyers up in here, we're looking for this. Okay, so, and it's due to the accumulation in this big zone in here, right? Or the accumulation in this zone here. Yeah, and again, Wyckoff is also like mark up, mark down, and you know, distribution areas are fractal as well. Rob, just take it one simple step at a time. Really, you know, look at the. I think the weak tops and weak bottoms might be good, and also when they fail. Okay, so let's go back here. Any more questions? Got it. Okay. All right, let's see Discord, how we're doing in Discord. All right, guys. Well, let's take a look here and go through some things like kind of unstructured webinar today. It's been really choppy, but I think some of the key takeaways in today. We started off with Rob asking about mean reversion and understanding our educational course, right? In this area here, these four videos in here. So I'm going to put this into the chat for you guys and go through educational part 1 and maybe 2 just for starters. I think you'll find it really helpful. I think Rob has, and then what you can do at that point is put it together with other things. Okay, so here's the link for that. Yeah, the Discord channel, if you go to bookmap.com and you want to join our Discord, we have Tom B streaming up here shortly. Okay, that's great. You should see this link underneath here. If you don't, join the Discord room here. Just click on the More button and go to Community Discord chat room right here. All right, and click on that, and that'll take you there. All right, so there's that. And then you have the we have Tom B, and then we have Doug, options with Doug after that, and the algo boys should be in there as well. All right, so we got lots of streamers, lots of stuff going on, guys. Really, really good stuff. Yeah, different ways of trading. Algo boys are obviously looking at algorithmic activity. Options with Doug, pretty obvious too. He's looking at options and integrating order flow levels within those options. And then Tom B in the Traders Lab, he's looking at volume profile. Okay, he's a profile trader with the S&P E-mini. So put all those, go check them out basically and see what works best for you. We offer it. Okay, so the just a couple more topics to cover in here. We talked about this mean reversion right here, and then we talked about other mean reversions in here, and then top edges, and what's more likely to play out. Well, we saw some of these. We saw this one in here. We just were covering this one in here. Sellers, lack of sellers, buyers coming in looking for it to trade up into 95. They didn't take it up here. It had to pull back here, and then finally has done it now, and it still looks pretty good, right? So we're still getting buyers up here. Now just we covered it, I don't know how many times today, like 3 or 4 times. Is this likely to fail, or is it going to come up to 3,800 once again in here? Okay, so just read the order flow in here. And look for them to support it on the bid, and more buyers in here to come in. They may bounce it off of 92, which is kind of a point of control of this range in here. Okay, right there, right here, 92. And then can we get back up here, get more buyers? Are they supporting on the bid? Yeah. Are they pulling on the offer? Yeah. Okay, well, let's see the buyers now lift it then up to 98 and 3/4 and 3,800. Because that's where the sellers are, up there. Okay, so we'd be looking for that. Yeah, compared to it failing and coming back into the range in here, and not supporting it on the bid, etc. So different reasons why due to the order flow. Okay, so why this may be a failed breakout and then come back in. Well, you know, we look for a lot on the offer in here, and I don't really see it yet. Okay, so it's just more of kind of a little bit of chop in here right now. We can read the trading up here. How many buyers traded up here? Not a whole lot, right? Well, we need to see a lot. We're looking for a lot to trade up here for this to be higher probability. Okay, for it to come back up in here. There's some, but it's just not enough to really give us clean insight here. So, you know, here they go. Let's see if they can reach back up here again, up to 96.5, 97. Yeah, and look at the offer in here. See how this is more convoluted, right? Now they're on the offer at these lower levels here. What's the reaction? Okay, well, are we getting buyers? A little bit. Yeah, there they go. Okay, great. All right, now let's see. Get a bit more here, 97, and then more on the bid here, and then we can get our pop up into 3,800. And I just don't see it happening right now. Okay, watch sellers be able to easily drive it back down here to 93. Okay, so because look at how dark it is in here. So stay away. Look for the higher probabilities, you know, or you can also look for your mean reversion. If this, you know, isn't something that is giving you too much information, it'll likely kind of pull back into some of these areas here. Again, not trade recommendations. You got to read the order flow and then look for the follow through from the aggressors. All right, so yeah, it was kind of very choppy day in here, but understanding buyers and sellers in context at some of the edges in here. All right, thanks guys, thanks for coming. If you like this, please hit the like button. That really helps us. Subscribe to the channel. Lots of stuff coming out this week. I went over the Blue Jacket website or web page here to sign up and then be on the Bookmap Insights and get a free subscription here. Win a subscription by entering, and then also potential for getting more involved with Bookmap. Okay. Anyway, guys, let's wrap it up. Oh, I went over the liquidation indicator, and look for more information coming out. More not only on the liquidation indicator for crypto. It works with Bookmap 7, 3, and 4, but also for Bookmap Web, and it works in that multi-book product in here that we were covering here, not just one single exchange, which is really cool. You know, you can look at the multi-book product in here. You can look at, in this case, 3 exchanges, and you can look at the liquidity and the amount being liquidated in here. Okay, thanks for coming, everybody. Look for Tom B next, and then follow it up with options with Doug. All right. Yep. Thanks, everybody. We'll call it a day, and we will check in with you tomorrow. Take care.